Okay, so this is my first quantum jumping class on a video. I will teach a number of classes and a number of processes that if you do this, your life will quantum jump. Well, first of all, I want to explain basic quantum jumping theory. And I am the world's worst artist. Maybe I can use quantum jumping to transmute that belief, but at this point and the experience I've had, I've been a bad artist. And I attempted to draw a number of straight lines here. These are the best straight lines I can draw. That's how bad of an artist I am. So these are straight lines. Imagine they're straight lines. And imagine that every timeline, every one of these is a timeline, okay? So we'll say that we're right here. We're at this moment in time right now. All of us together are traveling this particular timeline. Now, none of us are going to stay here. We're all going to move back and forth to different timelines in every given second. Every given second, we're just kind of moving timeline to timeline to timeline. But the difference between the timeline next door and the current one you're in is a very, very small difference that you don't even notice the difference unless you're really paying attention. There's always a difference, okay? So typically we're just moving back and forth, back and forth. Every time you change your emotion, every time you change your thought, every time you move, every time you blink your eyes, something about you changes. Something about your frequency changes. So you can't stay here because with the frequency recipe that you've got going on right now, it locks you into the timeline. You think another thought, you're going to move over here. You think another thought, you're going to move maybe back here. You're going to move, but you usually don't move very far. It's usually quite similar. Now, quantum jumping, the reason it's called quantum jumping, and some people would say quantum leaping or reality shifting, would tend to indicate maybe there was a larger jump from here to a more different timeline. We might call that a transformation. We can call it a miracle. We can call it many things. It's always been called something. But the study of quantum jumping is how can you consciously move from timeline to timeline to timeline to create and experience the reality that you want to experience. And so it's the idea that you do what's called frequency adjustments. This is no different than radio technology. Radio technology allows you to dial into a particular station and live everything that that broadcast has to offer. But then you just change the dial. You can tell how old I am. I don't even know if they have that on car radios anymore, but in the old days we would have these like transistor radios and be dialing in the knob, and you had to get quite good at it, you know, dialing right in. And that's really, I'm really glad that I lived in the old days because that is quantum jumping. It's about dialing your frequency so specific to that station to get the broadcast that you want to experience. So that's quantum jumping in a nutshell. And to study quantum jumping is to study the practices that will help you dial in, that help you to adjust your frequencies. And it's a change of belief systems, it's a change of how to change your frequency, it's a change of emotions, it's a letting go, it's moving through your shadows, it's a lot of processes. And then once you have them in your bag of tricks, you can be really skilled at tuning in to that timeline that most suits you. And when that doesn't suit you anymore, then you can adjust to another timeline and move back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and soon be a professional quantum jumper. And maybe I can call myself that because yeah, that's what I do. I know the practices, I've studied them, and I do the best I can. But just like with any sport, we can call this a sport, you gotta work it, you gotta ride it like a wave, because it is really like riding a wave, like surfing, and that's why the Russian books are all called Transurfing Reality, because it feels like that. You gotta kind of, you know, mold with the timeline and feel your frequencies adjusting and move into that and move out of that one. So it's like riding a bike. It's like being able to angle in and angle out. You know, it's like sailing. I'm sure you guys can think of other things that it's like, but it's if you've ever ridden a bike, or if you ever sailed a boat, or if you ever surfed a wave, then you're gonna know. You're gonna have a better sense of how to move this way and that way. And so yeah, so that's why I really do like that term, transurfing reality. So quantum jumping, yes, that's a title. Let's call it transurfing reality today, because it is a great way to think about it. So anyway, the next video will show you how to ride your first wave.